In this Ready or Not guide, we will go over threat assessment, understanding suspect behavior and their patterns, identifying which floors and doors will never have traps, spotting IR laser traps hidden throughout the mission, and more. Let's start with door trap placements. There will be door traps randomly placed throughout the map, but not every door or floor has traps. So I will explain which doors and floors will never have traps to make your life a little easier. On the first floor of the map where you spawn, there will never be any traps on any of the doors down here, so you can safely open every door. Once you move up to the second floor, you will now need to be more careful. On every single map that you play, there will never be any traps on double doors, so you can always safely open double doors. On this map, there will never be any traps in bathroom doors, this conference room, and the electrical room. Moving up to the third floor now. The doors without any traps on this floor are the electronic doors. When moving up to the final floor, I've never seen any traps on bathroom doors up here, but I would still check every single door up here just in case, because at this point in the mission, you don't want to risk dying from a trap. Now let's move on to IR laser traps. A New America will have IR laser traps randomly placed throughout the map. I will show all or at least the majority of the locations for these traps. But first, let's discuss what these traps do and how to spot them. IR laser traps are invisible to the naked eye, so the only way to see them is to use night vision goggles. When you trigger an IR laser trap, it will alert nearby suspects to your location. The IR laser traps can also be disabled by interacting with it, so you can plan out when it's best to disable them or when it's better to bait the suspects to you based on the information that I will provide to you throughout this guide. Now I will show the location for the traps, starting with the upper east corridor on the second floor. You can have a laser trap placed on the wall next to this tour sign. It can be disabled in this corner by free leaning down.
Disabling.
There are electronic doors found on the third and fourth floor. These doors can only be unlocked by using either a keycard found in random rooms of the second floor, or by going into the electrical room and turning off the switch. Turning off the switch will also disable alarms and temporarily disable the CCTV cameras. As an alternative method to unlocking the doors, you can blow up the doors with C2, but this will set off the alarm and make a lot of noise. The alarm for the electronic doors is disabled when you use the keycard or electrical room switch to unlock the doors. One of the best mechanics in the game is the ability to freelean. You can have an easier time clearing certain areas and rooms by freeleaning plus crouching at the same time. And doing this combo will optimize how well hidden you are. You want to make sure that you don't expose yourself too far past the wall, because if you do this correctly, then this will allow you to see the suspects without the suspects being able to see you. And that means that you can get a free kill on the suspects. The default keys for freeling plus crouch are Control plus Alt and WASD keys for direction. In this part of the guide, I will go over the suspect's behavior so that you understand what is happening. There are some situations where the MLO will rush out without you triggering any IR lasers or making any sound, and it may seem like they are wall hacking you, but what happens is that the MLO will sometimes run from their spawn, and normally they like to head upstairs. But sometimes they will randomly run and hide in a completely different room and camp it. So you need to pay attention to the doors that you closed and listen for voices and movement. If an MLO sees you when they are rushing out of their spawn to change locations, they will instantly aimbot and kill you. So it can seem like the game is cheating, but once you understand what is happening, you can prevent them from aimbotting you by listening to them rushing and being patient so that you don't rush into them when they are changing locations. So right now he's either pushing left or right. But I killed him before he could see me. Sometimes he'll push towards me and go up those stairs, or sometimes he'll push towards the left side, or sometimes he'll hide in a random area, as you've seen earlier. Alright, so for this MLO here, you can actually see him with the mirror gun and he'll actually change locations. If you see him with the mirror gun from the office area, beside the electric room. But he can also change locations if you don't see him as well, which is completely random, as you just see now. So he pushed out and he saw me through the window, so he shot at me. Now because he's seen me, this prevents him from changing locations. Now he knows I'm here. And what he usually does, if he never would have saw me, he would have either headed upstairs or he would have changed to a random location and just started camping. Now we will talk about baiting the MLO to stack up on doors. There are many different ways to do this. The two methods that I use the most are yelling / making noise.
Hands in the air!
And setting off IR laser traps. Here is some extra footage of baiting as well as MLO rushing to different locations.
Get down now! Hands up now!
The elevators.
Police don't fucking drop the weapon and get down! Stay quiet. Post up. Get down and keep your hands up! Hands on your head! Hands up! Above your head! Hands on your head! Now! Push! Drop the weapon now! Drop your weapons! Get your hands up!
Talk, we found something. Laptop and a frequency emitter.
Fine, the intel says this might be the
Hands up!
device we're
Don't
looking
move!
for.
LSPD!
Upload the receiver logs and we'll be able to prevent detonation with a spoofed frequency.
Keep your hands up and get down!
In order to complete this mission, you will need to make sure that you arrest the bomber and defuse his bomb vest, so do not kill him. Before you can get the bomber to surrender, you will need to find the jammer, which can be found in 3 different locations. Location 1 is the city council room, location 2 is this conference room, and the final location. Once you hit the jammer, you will have 2 to 3 minutes to arrest the bomber before he blows up the building. So you will need to rush back up to arrest him and defuse his bomb vest.
Police, down on the ground! Turn around, keep your hands up. Elemental talk. Suspect standing by for transport. Move over here.
By all means, Judge. Continue. Resume your objectives. You're doing so well.
Alright, so let's start going through this door. And I'm going to show the spawns. So when you come through here, you have spawns inside here. So you want to look out the window and you want to look out this window. I would recommend looking out the right side window first and then look out this one. But before you look inside these windows, you want to pay attention to this spawn here, because there can be a guy right here, right outside the office as well. And then once you push in through here, sometimes the guy might be patrolled on this side. So you want to look on this side, and you want to look inside here and the stairs. As you can see, there's actually a guy right there on the stairs. So first what you do is you peek right and left, and then you, if it's clear, and then you go inside here, and then you go upstairs. Once you get upstairs, you want to pay attention to this side here, where this guy is. And you want to pay attention to this corner here, because you can have guys that rush out, that they will see you and they'll rush out to pull the alarm. And then you can have a guy right around here patrolling as well. So when you push out this door now, you have another corridor here. The left side can have a guy patrolling. There can also be an IR trap right there. I won't get too much into the traps since I already covered them. And then on this side, what I typically do is I close these doors. And then we focus on this side of the spawn. So inside here, you want to check and see if anybody is spawned, because there can be an MLO right here. And if you bait him, he will come rush the door, or he will go behind here and hide behind here. He'll do one of those two things if you try and bait him. And then you can see this guy through the window as well. So if you have lethals, you can kill this guy through the window if he's spawned here. But if you're doing S rank, you can try and bait this guy. Then you proceed through here. There can be a spawn inside here, so you want to be careful of suspects. And then there can be a guy, another MLO right over here as well. So you want to use your mirror gun to see if there's any suspects. And inside this bathroom, there might be another suspect, so be careful of this bathroom. If the door is locked, you don't have to worry about him until later. You can just keep him in there and focus on this area here, because you want to get this guy if you didn't get him already, because you don't have lethals. And you don't want to disarm this. Instead, what you want to do is you want to trigger the tripwire and bait the MLO suspects that normally spawn in here, so that they can flash. They'll stack up and flash, and you can throw a flash and get them all, and you can arrest them all, or you can kill them. So before you do all this, you also want to check the left side in case there's suspects. So basically what you would do is, if you have lethals, this guy's already dead if you shot him through the window. But if you don't have lethals, then you want to come out here and you want to check the left side first. If you do hear guys on the left side, instead you want to bait this guy towards you. So you want to yell, and then he'll come towards where you're yelling, and he'll stack up, and then you can flash everybody inside here. But if the suspects on the left side are too far, because you can't see them with your mirror gun, but you can hear them, then you can take out this guy, and then take out the left guys. But you have to be careful, because the MLO inside here will also rush out. So it all depends on what your seat is, on how to deal with this section. Alright, so for this seat here, I would move over here, I would look left, take this guy out, disable this if I have S rank, like if I have a beanbag shotgun, and I would close these doors, I would wedge it, and then I would bait these guys out. So once these guys are all dead, then you push in through here, and you want to be careful when you're pushing. Actually, you want to open the door and you want to free lean if you want to be safe, because there can be a guy right here. Sometimes he's actually in the worst spot. I actually had him back here before, so just be extra careful when you push in here. And then you can disable this, push this door open, and there might be a guy that's camped behind this flower pot, and there might be another guy that's camped right in the hard corner here. So 2 guys, you can bait them, you can yell until they come and stack up, and then you can throw a flash, the flash will get them all, and then you just arrest them, or you can kill them. That's the easiest way to do it. Then you push out through here, and you want to check left first if there's no suspects over here. So you want to check here, no suspects, then you check left, there's no suspects, and then I close this door, the double doors here. I push in here, I check right side, make sure everything's clear. I will close this door, come on the right side, and I would check for any IR traps. So this one doesn't have one, and this one doesn't have one right now. So I can't use IR traps to bait MLO suspects if there were MLO suspects, which there is one. I would first use the IR trap, and if there's no traps, then I would just yell, or I would just rush in and kill them with my skill. But if you want to be safe, you can just yell and see if you trigger any of them to come towards you, because this guy will stack up and then he's a free kill once he stacks up. So then you come through here, be careful, because there might be a suspect patrolling the halls like this, and there might be a suspect inside here, which is usually the easy guy. He's the black suspect from Thank You Come Again, so he's one of the easiest suspects because he's a low level suspect. So you can deal with him because he only has a pistol. And then you want to check for traps here and use the mirror gun. If you see the MLO suspect camping here, then you want to use the breach and use the C2 breach to blow up the door, and this will knock out the suspect. And then you want to be careful because there might be suspects in the back here as well. And then you want to be careful opening up this door for traps and suspects that can hide behind here, suspects that can hide over here, and sometimes even back here, depending on if they spotted you and are running away. Then you can open this door, and there might be an MLO right here. There might be a regular suspect running around somewhere, like military guy or anybody. So there might be like 2 suspects here, including that MLO guy. If the MLO is not over here, he might even be right over here. Or he might have opened this door and fled. So you want to make sure you close all doors, wedge them, wedge this one in the back. You want to make sure you close all the doors, because if you see any doors open when you know you close them, then you know this guy took off somewhere. Because this guy can roam around. He can either roam and hide, or if you look with the mirror gun under here and you see him start running away, he can open the door and he will run this way and run all the way upstairs So that's another roaming thing that he can do as well. This is where you turn off the switch, which will do these three things right here. Fire alarm will turn off, CCTV cameras will turn off, and the electronic doors will open. The fire alarm and the CCTV cameras are timed. The electronic doors stay open forever. Alright, so then in here can be civvies, and sometimes a suspect will be in here as well. So you gotta be careful. I've actually never seen a trap inside these offices, but I would still check this anyways, just because I'm not 100% sure. Because I don't go in there too often. Now, this whole section is cleared. So what I do now is I come through here, I check the bathroom, which never has any traps. No bathrooms on this floor will ever have traps. As well as this door here will never have a trap. So then I go up here, and you want to be careful in case there's a suspect that's pre-aiming like this. Sometimes there can be, and some depending on how your seat is going, so you want to be careful. And so I would check that first, because he can actually shoot at you before you even see him, so you have to be really careful. And then what you can do is use the mirror gun and see down this hall by hiding behind a wall. And just play it a little bit slow in case there's a suspect that's going to that's already triggered by you, and he might actually aimbot you right away, depending on how you're playing the map. So just play it a little bit slow just to see what happens. And then you want to close this door, wedge this door, and now we have the courtroom and we have this room. So what I do is there's an IR trap here. I will disable this, and I will close these doors, and I will wedge this door after I mirror gun first if I don't see suspects. So I'll use the mirror gun. There's no suspects, and then I wedge this door. So this door is now wedged. This door is wedged. And then I focus on the double doors here. Remember, no double doors will ever have traps. You can just open this, use the mirror gun. Actually, I would open the right door here. Then use the mirror gun and look into the room and see if there's any suspects with the mirror gun. So this doesn't have any suspects, but sometimes you'll have a suspect right over here. So there'll be one MLO right here. There'll be one MLO like right over here on the other side. So pretty close to each other. And there's sometimes even a third MLO in here. I don't know how far back he is. I think he's maybe up here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. But sometimes there's like 3 MLO in here, as well as a military guy, or a grease palm suspect, or whatever. One random suspect will be in here. So you can sometimes have like 4 suspects in here, and you can get them all by yelling. So you just keep yelling. The MLO will eventually get triggered by a yell. So the MLO will run and they'll stack up. So let's say if there's like 3 MLO in here, okay? 3 MLOs stack up, they open the door, and then once they open the door, I'll be hiding, I'll do a free lean, I'll throw a nade, I'll bounce off the door, and I'll land right around here. The flash grenade will get all the MLO here, and then I just run in and I yell for surrender, and then they all surrender. So that's the easiest way to do it. Right, so then I come back out here, and I take this wedge, and I check to see if there's suspects with the mirror gun. If there's no suspect, then I'll push in and I'll free lean I'll start walking up and free leaning like just not too far out, just enough to try and hide myself, just so I can see if there's a suspect that's hiding behind this bookcase. Because sometimes you can have a suspect here, MLO, and another MLO back here. So just be careful, because you can have like 2 MLOs back here, at least. And then check for traps here. Never any traps on double doors. You can just open this, and there might be a suspect behind here. There might be like 2 suspects in here sometimes. Sometimes there's 2, so you gotta be very careful, because this spot is very tight. You're coming out of a tight corridor here, and it's very hard to get in here. So use the mirror gun, see if there's any suspects, and just play it slow, because you can also just start nading them depending on how close they are, or you can try and bait some. But yeah, just try and play this room very carefully. This room is the easiest room. Once you get through here, if there's no suspects, or if you got the suspects in here, sometimes you can have like 3 MLO in here and a military guy, and you can get all 4 suspects really easy. Because you have one back here, you have one right over here, you have another MLO guy right close to the door, and sometimes you can have a random suspect patrolling. So you just keep yelling, 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 yelling. Eventually they all come, they'll stack up, and you just throw a nade right around here, and the nade will get them all, and you just push in and arrest them all. Easiest arrest ever. Alright, that clears that. Sometimes you can have guys patrolling the hallway here. As you can see, there's one guy here, one guy here. Sometimes they're even down on this section here as well. So you just want to be careful, and so if you're making a lot of noise in there, maybe they might even push in and check out all the commotion. But yeah, so just watch out for the right and left side here. And then once you get those guys, check for traps, use the mirror gun, and there can be a guy right here that patrols through this door as well. And there can be a couple MLO back here. So one MLO right over here and one in like the tight corner here. Then you push in through here, and there can be more suspects here as well as inside here. And then once you push in through here, you want to check for IR laser here. But if there's no suspect here, you can push into the right side first, and I would close this door with the mirror gun, because the mirror gun can close this door since it can extend the interaction. So once you do that, then you just come here, check for traps, and get any suspects that might be hiding inside here. Now you just use the mirror gun, check to see if there's anybody in here, and you can try and bait some depending on your seed. So you can yell and see if you can get them to come here, and you can pick them off one by one depending on if they push or not. It might be hard to get them to push. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's easy. One time I actually had them all come in here by baiting. One guy saw me on the stairs, and that triggered them to be even more aggressive, so it was easier to bait them. So I was able to yell, and I got them to start running in here, and I took one guy out, took another guy out, took another guy out, and another guy. So I got like 4 guys, super easy that way.
Put your hands where I can see them. Get your hands up. Police, don't move. Hands up, don't move. LSPD, keep your hands up and police. Hands up. LSPD, don't move. Hands up. Police, hands up.
And then what I do is I come here, I'll check the hallway. If this door is closed, then normally I'll just push in through here. But if that door is open and I know that there's suspects in here that I never got yet, then I will go all the way around the Safeway instead. I'll go all the way back here, all the way back here, and I will go through this door now. So we open here, take out any suspects here, and then watch this side here. This door might be open, and if you never got all the suspects in here, then they can patrol, so just be careful. Because you want to try and get in through here. And there's a trap here sometimes. So you can have like MLO over here, and you can also have a military guy and an MLO back here. So You can wedge this door if it's closed. That way, if there is suspects in here, they can't get out and get you. And then you can try and yell and bait the suspects to come to the door and stack up. And then you just throw a flash up in the window. If you're hiding like right over, or actually, no. This door will open, and it'll open up this way. So you just throw a flash and then get them all. You don't have to throw it through the window. And then inside here, just be careful in case there is another guy that never patrolled inside here, because as you can see, there is another guy that's inside here. And then sometimes you have like 3 MLO here, so after you take out all these guys, you just yell, get them to come towards you, and then this is the best way to do it if you're S ranking. Or if you're doing the M32 launchers, I guess you can just get them super easy, but even with lethals, you can just, the safest way to do this, if you want to guarantee that you get them all, or if you want to arrest them, is let them come and stack up, and then you just throw a flash through the window. If you throw it correctly, it should flash them all, and then you just yell and you can arrest them all and get a higher rank from arresting. And then you push in through here if you this is assuming that this is all cleared already, because you want to make sure you clear this first before. This is the last thing you do right here. These guys should be the last guys that you come after. Alright, and then you just push it around, and then we just head upstairs. Now, from up here, you want to use the mirror gun and see if there's any guys, or first you want to play it. This part here is like a safe spot. I usually always get guys by waiting right here, and they never shoot at me for some reason, or they have a hard time. They have a harder time shooting at me. So I just like to wait right here, and then I'll peek. If there's a guy here, take him out, and then there might be a guy right here. As you can see, they're patrolling. This guy's right here. So these guys will patrol. You just want to keep being a bit noisy. Let them patrol, and then you just take them out as you bait them, because you can usually get like 2 or 3 guys here at least to bait them really easily. And then there might be guys in the far back, so there might be he's right here. This guy's right here. He might also be right here as well, so just be careful. And then this guy in the back here, and then there's usually a guy, sometimes there's a guy back here like this. So once you bait them all, these front guys should be easily baitable. The back guys are going to be harder to bait. So if you're having a harder time trying to bait them, now the only thing that you can really do is push this way and hide behind here. So you want to crouch and just keep yourself hidden. If you're on lethals, this is easy because you don't have to worry about trying to arrest them. So you can just crouch, and if you see any suspect, then you just shoot them. So if they start pushing, shoot. If he starts pushing, be very careful, play very slow. You want to listen for them rushing. If this guy starts pushing here, you can kill him. And then the guy that's on this side here might push as well on this side. So you can kill him, and then you can push into these doors. But you want to be careful how you push in, because suspects do patrol here as well. As you can see, this guy is inside here. Alright, once you have all this clear, check the bathrooms. And then try to play this a little bit slow, just in case. You want to go this way this time, come back around this way. And you want to check over here, make sure there's no suspect, because you don't want to get aimbotted. So the main point here is to try and get this right here. This is a refill for your ammo. You interact with this, and then you're going to be refilled on everything. And then from here, you have to be careful, because if there is a suspect here that spawned here, he might be more alert now. Then you go inside here and you check. Sometimes there's a guy right here. And sometimes there's there he is right here. There's a guy in here. Okay. Now we have this, so you want to be careful because this does have a bomb trap sometimes. And you can have a few guys in here sometimes. So clear this. And then you come this way. And you want to go inside here and clear. Open this door, and you want to freely throw nades at any MLO that might be here to try and bait them to that door. So inside here right now, I would be using the mirror gun on here. I'd use it right here, and I would use it right here. When I was inside here before, I would have used the mirror gun to see if there's any suspects. And I'd likely be able to see that there's a guy behind the railing. I'd probably have to open the door to get a better look, because you can use the mirror gun while standing up. So you can see this guy behind the railing with the mirror gun, and then you can see this guy here through the center door. And then I would use the mirror gun here to see if I see any more. So this guy here is hidden very well. You might not see him. This is the guy that always fucking killed me before, because I could never see him. So you want to be very careful. You might have to open these double doors up and and stand here and see if you can see him. No, I don't think you can. I don't think you'd be able to. You might have to do it from this side, maybe, then. From this door. Stand up and then see if you can see him. Either way, just be very careful, because there is a hard spawn here, and he's hard to see, this guy. So what I would do is I would throw nades, try and trigger them to come to me, and then kill them that way. If you can at least get 2 of the MLO suspects, then just be very careful in case there's a third one hiding somewhere that you can't see, like this guy, in case he decides not to push. But usually he can. Usually he will push, because if you're throwing flashes and they're stunning the suspects, then they get more aggressive and they will all push. From my experience anyways, I got them to push me. So once that's clear, because you want to make sure that you do not kill this guy. So if you kill at least like 2 guys, or hopefully 3, then you come down, hit the jammer. I don't even know where the jammer is on this. So let's see. I think it's over here. Yeah, here it is. So you hit the jammer, and then you come back upstairs. And before going upstairs, you want to do a final checkup. So now that the jammer's hit, we don't have to worry about this guy trying to blow everything up. So just take your time and see if there's any more MLO hiding where you can't see them. So I would check this spawn here, and I would check this spawn here. But if you notice that you got like at least 2 guys on this side, then you can be extra careful, because usually there's like 3 MLO in here at least. So 1, 2, 3. So if you notice that you only got 2 MLO, then just be very, very, very careful in case there's an MLO hiding in one of the hard spawns that are hard to see. So then you just want to throw a nade, get this guy to surrender, and just hide yourself. You can push him to you. I think you can push him to you. You can try and move him to you. If you don't notice that this guy's here, that means you got him. So you can just check the left side instead. Just make sure the side's all clear, and then while you're pushing in to arrest this guy, just make sure you're checking this side here. You might even throw some flashes over here just in case. You should be able to do that very easily by hiding yourself with freeling and then aiming up high and throwing flashes. And if you hear any pain noises, keep your subtitles on as well, because the subtitles will tell you if there's pain noises. That means that there's a suspect hiding here. You have to arrest this guy. Do not kill him with lethals. So once you arrest him, make sure you don't activate the jammer, because you will blow up the whole mission. Make sure you don't activate the jammer because you will blow up the whole building and you'll fail your mission. You want to move this guy to a safe spot, then you want to arrest him, and then you want to disarm his vest. And that will be mission complete. All that's left now is civilians.